Hey guys, it's Max. How's everyone doing? This is a surprise pop-up live stream, TGIF live stream. And I thought I need to do an end of week update. Basically, let's just look at the buffer report and look at a few things. And we'll look at option strat and check out some option strategies. Just kind of see how things are going, see how we finish the week. So it looks like the spreadsheets are fixed. So hopefully next week they'll be back by full force. But I think I figured out what was wrong with Google. Excel, I still can't figure out of it, but anyway, it's fine. Excel's fine. Okay, so let's see what happened. Now, it looks like we just basically had a market where the SPY didn't move at all. I guess we better take a look at the chart first. See what we're looking at. Oh, wait, can you guys even see that? You got to be kidding me. Okay, yeah, you guys can see that, right? No, you can't. God, I do that every freaking time. Oh my gosh, I had to re-record a video today because I did that. All right, well, let's go look at the SPY. Sorry about that. SPY is basically unchanged on the day. But you can see as far as from a statistical standpoint, it looks like it got a little too big for its britches. It got outside of, the Bollinger Bands. Then it reverted back to the mean, which is this middle line. But let's look at what the NASDAQ did. NASDAQ just had a bigger gap up. Boy, I bet you QDTE had a big day because they profit off gap ups. We'll check that in a little bit. And now let's check Russell. Okay, now Russell actually gapped up but could not hold the gap, actually closed its gap and went the other way. So that's actually a bearish sign right there. I didn't notice that. That's not what bulls want to see there at all. But it's Russell, tale of two markets. We'll see what's going on. All right, so, the SPY didn't move. So, T-SPY's down 88 bips. There's no way it's really down that much. I don't think. I'm going to call BS on that. All right, let's see, though. How many of you guys have T-SPY? You can put it in the comments if you want. T-SPY is down. What is this? It's down 84 bips, but in the post market, it's up. So, but this is just showing down. That's a pretty big difference in the post market. It's up. Well, that's good for T-SPY. Assets under management, they have 7.1. I think they had 6.5 when we talked to Cy. We're going to have him on again as soon as he pays the next dividend, which I think is probably next week, or I'm going to ask him to come on if he'd be gracious enough to accept. Okay, well, interesting. So T-SPY is not, I don't know why that's showing T-SPY down. Obviously, T-SPY isn't. Okay. Or actually, wait, it was down that much, wasn't it? Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's exactly how much it was down. Okay, well, that's kind of crazy. It was down a lot more than the other constituents, the peers. All right, ZIVB though beat it on the downside. SVOL almost did. On the good side at Spyland is WDTE. So that's the JEPY. Now, I guarantee you that QDTE should be on the good list on NASDAQ. I'm surprised it's not that one. FEPI beat the parents. KQQ beat the parents. AIPI almost did. QQY got about 80% of the upside. QQT did not do great today. Look at this. YMAG got all the upside and then some. I think that's the second day in a row. Great job, YMAG. Lots of people had good days today. I'm going to say QDTE's day was the standout day, and I kind of called that. As soon as you see a chart like we saw on the NASDAQ with a giant gap up, that's a big bonus for the Round Hill funds the way they're structured. They also got a bonus yesterday too. They should have. I don't remember the results. The day before, they probably got penalized by this gap down. They also get penalized by gaps down, but it's a very interesting strategy and they're doing well. So let's maybe look at this. Let's check QDTE versus triple QY. Look at that. QDTE is spanking it, and especially recently. Holy shit, they've just been pouring it on recently. I checked this like a month ago and they were pouring it on, but it's even more so now. QDTE has upside convexity on triple QI. Woo. All right, so we can check some of these other things too. I noticed that KQQQ had a really good day. That's the Howard Chan fund from Curve. He's a friend of the show, I'd like to thank. He's been on once. Maybe we should have him back on again. Now, I'm kind of putting KQQQ and T-SPY in a similar category, especially the way T-SPY was initially designed, because they both kind of had lower dividends, but supposedly designed for a ton of upside. Well, I just looked at the comparison today to see how Howard was doing when you line him up against SPY. KQQQ against T-SPY. All right, so KQQQ, the Curve Growth Fund, of course, or it's a high yield fund that also is supposed to have growthy characteristics. Now look at T-SPY. Now, they're both doing pretty well. I mean, pretty good. I would say this, though, and the dividends within about 6 cents of being the same. The dividend so far is close. I would imagine if we looked at this over a longer period of time, T-SPY's dividend should be about twice as much in the long run. But just as of right now in the time periods that's showing, something that is really impressive about T-SPY, and this is a small sample size. I'm going to open a seltzer. This is a very small sample size, but look how T-SPY barely got underwater at all during the pullback. That's the pullback in early September. And, KQQQ, which is great fun. I'm not knocking it. It pulled back, whatever, 5%. Okay. It rallied right back. It's a good fun, but T-SPY didn't even pull back. I mean, we got to figure out what SPY's doing. What's he doing over there? That's pretty good, though, and especially when you consider he decided to go ahead and pay the larger dividend. Now, the question is, how's he getting that larger dividend? And last time, I didn't really ask him, but this time I'll put him on the hot seat. We'll figure out where that money's coming from, make sure it's sustainable. But and I imagine it is. Hang on, I imagine it is, but we'll see. You got to be kidding. Well, I love these little Mio drops. I was looking for some of those. Okay. But anyway, that's good to see. So let's get back to the buffer report. Over here in Russell land, we had the Russell funds pull back, although nothing looks like bad. Nothing was worse than the parent. Well, Bali was, but that's fine. Clip had a good day. China must be bouncing. YBTC and Maxi had a bad day, so Vito is getting killed, obviously. Look at USOY killing it. Okay, speaking of USOY killing it, let's talk about USOY's dividend really quick. The USOY dividend, I'm thinking $1.18. I'm thinking I'm good with $1.18. But let's check and see when deck day is, just to make sure. Would you guys be all right with $1.18? I hope it's more than that, but But I mean, that's pretty good pay. And there's been huge volatility in oil options lately. So the deck day is, it looks like it was on 30th last month, going to be on the 31st this month. So Halloween. So no, we have some more time left in the month. 26, 27 till 28, 29, 30. Heck, we have almost a full week next week. Okay. This dividend's going to be crazy. I guess let's look back at it. Maybe I'll put the multiplier back on here. If we still have another week left but it's not quite a week. It's more like half a week. All right. How does $1.33 sound? Anyway, we'll keep updating that as we get more in. We'll update it right till the last day. But right now, I think that sounds decent for a USOY dividend. Sorry, I don't know on the other Defiance dividends right now because I got behind on the spreadsheets. All right, but let's see what else we can look at. Now, call spreads. This is something that's not behind. This is based on yesterday's trades, so this is caught up as of the most recent data I have. So these are all of the call spreads that were put on yesterday. In column E is the strike we're trying to get over. So you can see all of them are pretty good distance behind the strike we're trying to get over right now at this point in time. Here's the triple threat spreadsheet where I kind of consolidate that last spreadsheet. What is going on with Zomo? Zomo's obviously not up 16%. I mean, let's check it out like this, though. Zomo is down 3 bips. So let's just write that in there. Wish I didn't have to do that. Okay, now back to the triple threat spreadsheet. It'll make some more sense now. Okay, the blue column on the left is how far out of the money the call spread is. So, if it's longer, it just means they have more to go before the options get in the money. And sure enough, those ones that have further to go are also the ones that are pulling back today. That's why they have further to go. Coney, Misty, GDXY, they're running the other way. Now, Misty's beating the parent too, pulling the Menendez brother on the way down. That's not good. And it says Zomo is, but Zomo screwed up. So we're just going to ignore Zomo. There's no way. Well, let's look here. Well, yeah, now we just looked at Zomo. Zomo's down 0.3. I thought I fixed that. What the hell? Right? Did I not fix that? I screwed it up, didn't I? I mean, I meant 0.03%, I guess. I didn't mean that. Appreciate you guys' patience. How's your week been? Hope you guys had a good week. 0.03%. Now, I've got some compliments on the triple threat spreadsheet. I think that's potential. Now this Dizzo's messed up. I don't think it's options in the money yet. Let's go see what's going on here. Dizzo, they have the 99 strike. BOD, the current price is 95. That's not in the money. Well, I don't know. Suffice it to say, TSMY is killing it. Tesla murdering it. Snowy pulling the Menendez brother, beating the parent on the upside. That's really impressive. So now let's look at something. Just so happen to have a snowy trade in here, right? Don't we? I thought we had a snowy. I thought we programmed one of Jay's trades. You know, that may have been last week. I've kind of had a long week. My favorite trade of the week that Jay did, he did it in Alti and he did it in YMAX. And then I made content about it. And it's one of my best trades I've recommended probably in months. It made, I don't know, $3,500. I recommend two trades. If you're bullish, I recommend that one. If you're bearish, I recommended a bearish Tesla trade. The bearish trade made 211 also. Anyway, I want to have some more content on that kind of stuff. It's called, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a hook for it right now, but I'll have more stuff like that. I also showed an Amazon earnings trade today, and I made content on that. I call it like stupid option tricks, or the idea is there's trades that you can do in options that really shouldn't work. I mean, they're just kind of crazy trades, but the only reason you can do it is because commissions are free. So you can do kind of crazy combinations. That's kind of what I like to do, is think up the craziest combinations that give you the hugest, just most obvious advantage, and then try to put them on. So I did an example and I made content on it. Go watch it if you guys want. And the example was, what did I call it? I called it it was a trade for Amazon. Earnings I did for Amazon. Anyway, go watch that video. I was trying to find here it is, Jay Inspire Trades. That's what else I'm going to do. I'm looking at trades that Jay's doing on Alti, especially, in trying to convert some of those to where you can use them yourself. Jay did a really interesting trade on Netflix, and I adjusted it to go on Amazon, but then I basically turned it into a whole different trade. But let's check out the profit and loss graph. This could be a fun trade. You receive an income of $129 for putting it on. And then all you're rooting for Amazon to do, they have earnings next week. They just can't go down more than 6.5%. And you get to keep all that money. Max risk is $1,300. If they do go down, but they have to go down more than 6% before you lose a penny. And then if they happen to have a big up move, there's a bonus, and you can make a little extra. You can make a little extra money. All right, so let's check this out. Remove, and here's an alternative way to do it. And that's actually what I made the video on. I don't know. I guess it didn't save the freaking trade. Story of my life. This would be a great way to check out this way to play Amazon earnings for next week. This is similar to the video I posted. All right, so okay, yeah, this looks like a pretty decent trade. I'll share this one in the comments, but this would be a very decent way to play. And the market's closed now, but you can look for this same type of trade on Monday. What we're doing here is we're selling a put spread, and it brings in a credit, but then we're spending part of the credit on calls, not a call spread, just on naked calls. So we have unlimited upside. So if Amazon blows out earnings, so this trade right here cost you $2,400 or it cost you $2,000 to put on. It's expensive to put on, but you receive 10% of it back right away. You receive a $200 credit for putting it on. Okay. So you get that credit in your account, but then they hold $2,000 margin out of your account until the trade's over. Well, this trade expires next week. If Amazon misses earnings, that's fine, as long as they don't drop more than 5.5%. But if they do anything on the upside, that's you make the $207 credit and get to keep it. Now, if they happen to get over the strike over 207.50, that's where this trade gets fun. If Amazon moves as much as Tesla did this week, this trade right here is easily, a $3,000 winner. But the thing I like most about it, the thing that you shouldn't be able to do, the thing that doesn't make sense, is you can be wrong by 5-6% and still get paid, and still earn an income and get to keep the income at the end of the trade. I mean, make an income and make a net and gross profit, a pretty good one, 10% on the money risk. And then what you're hoping for is the occasional outlier where you get a 25% up move in Amazon after earnings. Probably won't happen, but I mean, if it did happen to happen and you had this trade on to be an $8,000 winner, we could also do the same trade in reverse. If you guys are interested, let me know. Maybe we'll put on a bearish one next week. But that's today's stupid option trade, and that's today's trade we should be able to do. Yesterday's trade we should be able to do was Tesla earnings. Was the Tesla earnings idea? Well, I think it expired, so it's out of here. But in any event, it was the Tesla earnings idea that was up $3,550. I just showed it to you guys in the beginning. Here it is. Expired or closed. It just went off the board. Well, it's been a good week. Look at all this green on the board. So there's the yield max. They earned $1.3 million. Or no, that's ULTY. They earned $1.3 million. That one just went on the board, just off the board. I was trying to copy Jay and think of a way a retail guy could kill it on Tesla. So I came up with the bullish Tesla earnings. It's a call ratio back spread. You can't see it because it's expired, but it was a great trade. It made $3,500 on, I forget, about $1,000 worth of risk. So it was about a triple. Okay, well, you guys have any questions? We can shoot the shit. Have I covered everything? I mean, did we look at the buffer report? Anyway, let me know if I didn't cover everything. Let me see if there's any of you guys here. What's up, CJ? How you doing, bud? I'm glad you're here. I was kind of bored and I thought it'd be fun to do a live stream. I didn't even publicize it. I have a pop-up live stream every Friday. And I know that's not the way the social networking works. I realize that you're supposed to publicize stuff and you're supposed to go for more views, but lately, for some reason, it's almost like I've been going for less views. My daily video used to get 1,000 views, some days more. Lately, it's getting less than 100. My station's kind of turned into a niche station, but anyway, I'm glad you're here, CJ. Or I'm glad I know more people than just CJ are here. So let's see. All right, well, let me talk. I like to shoot the shit. I like to shoot off my mouth. So let's talk politics. Not really. I'm not really going to talk politics, but let's see what's going on in the prediction markets. Okay, well, so at predicted, Trump is up big today from yesterday at predicted. Yesterday, I believe he was 59 at this service. Today, he's 61. Good job, Trump. Oh, Trump's plane flew over my house today, or it missed about a mile. The plane flew right down Mopac Street, super low. It's a big old, beautiful, of course, black 757 with gold writing on it. And it's great advertising. Trump tells that pilot, just go fly slow and low over the city. And that's what he did. He flew into Austin today. I got a picture of it and I posted it. I was kind of a long way away. I was about a mile away from the plane. So maybe a mile and maybe 2 miles, but in any event, I could tell it's Trump's plane with the naked eye, but I mean, it's easily, you don't see many planes that look like that. Plus, I was watching it on a database come in from Las Vegas. I've subscribed to one of those plane services. But anyway, okay. So Trump's doing good there. The only reason I'm not trying to talk good about Trump, bad about Trump, anything about candidates, but this is interesting because these different services have different prices. See, this price has Trump 62. Now let's go over to Polymarket and see what your boy is at over there. Not my boy, I said your boy. Okay, 64. So what I've been using this to illustrate is how to, I always say there's no free money, but sometimes there is free money glitches, and this is one of them. It's not truly free money because there is a little bit of risk in this, but it's almost like a glitch because you can bet Kamala here at this site where her odds are too low relatively. I'm not saying it deserves to be higher, just relative to the other sides. And then you can play Trump over here at this side. Now, but here, I'm glad you guys are looking today because I have a spreadsheet that I built in Excel, and let's put the new numbers in and see if it may not be worth it to play it anymore. The arbitrage may be dead, and that happens to lots of arbitrages. Too many people may have arbed it and brought the numbers back into line. You know, that's the idea. But now let's see here if we could still squeeze a little money out of this deal. I just like money with no risk. So Kamala's at 36. Damn, that's low. That's low. Oh, who's here? Hey, retired cop. Thanks for posting. Okay, check out this arbitrage trade. We're gonna make it in. We're check out this trade. This is gonna be a cool trade. All right, so we could go to predict it where Kamala is 36 and bet on Kamala. And I know I'm not. I know that sounds crazy, but we could, even if you aren't a Kamala fan, because that price is so low and really probably maybe even a little too low, that's a good hedge because it's a long shot. But if it hits, it's going to pay us a little extra. So a person could do that. And then the problem is Trump's price has dropped. We have to get Trump. He was 57 the other day. Today, his lowest price was 61. Oh gosh, this may screw it up. Okay, let me make sure this is calculating this right. Yeah, so 45 divided by C4. Okay. All right. Well, so let's look. So let's try to make, if we wanted to make a guaranteed profit, either way, we'd have to bet 100 on Trump and 65 on Kamala. That's the good news. The bad news is we'd only make $8 and we'd risk $165 to do it. But unless they put in Michelle or, Pete or somebody, or unless, something crazy happens, that's the idea. That's the odds. So I'm saying, let's talk about something crazy. So even if you think there's a 1% chance of the crazy thing happening, down here, I made a graph or a chart to describe that. That means there's a 1% chance you'd lose $165. So let's figure out the minus 165. But of course, then you have to put in here your own estimation. And let's say you're 50-50. If you think there's a 50% chance Trump wins, and that's an $8 winner, and then you think it's a 50% chance Kamala, and that's an 8%. Okay. Then right here, this is what I'm trying to illustrate. This shows you that on average, if you play this bet 100 times, on average, you're going to make $6 Now, you aren't even going to make $8 per time. You're going to make $6.27 per time, because when you factor in for the outlier hitting, right? The outlier is going to hit 1% of the time, but you could still lock in a profit of $6.27 on $165. No, and I'm not recommending to do this, but I'm showing it kind of as a exercise in game theory or in probability or whatever. It's interesting that these different places created an opportunity. A few days ago, when the numbers were wider apart, there was a lot more opportunity. This is banks do arbitrage. They have an office in Europe, and they have an office in New York, and they sell yen in Asia, and they buy dollars in New York. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. They have sophisticated ways of monetizing difference in prices between two locations. Well, this is a very unsophisticated way of doing the same thing, but money is money. It makes $8 on $165, 5% in 2 weeks, unless they put in a substitute, which they might, but that's not bad money. And yeah, $8, that's not enough for you. Add a zero. That's not enough for you. Add 2 zeros. It'd be nice to make $800 in 2 weeks, right? Add 3 zeros, make $8,000 in 2 weeks. Depends on, what your own financial situation looks like. Make it interesting or whatever, but be sure to factor in the effect of an outlier. Let's change the math on this. Wonder if you think there's like a 5% chance something crazy happens instead of a 1% chance. Wonder if you're a little bit more conspiratorial maybe than I am. Well, let's put that in and see what that does to your math. Okay. Hang on here. C26, 165. C6. Okay. Hang on 1 second. I appreciate your patience, but it's going to make it worse. What I'm trying to show is it probably is going to make it where it's not even worth it. Because if you think there's a 5% chance, even though there's a 95% chance you win, we're going to make it show the average results. So we're going to multiply this times this. Okay. Yeah. So it's going to make it not worth it, because it's going to cause your average trade, your average occurrence to be underwater mathematically. Okay. So you can even solve it and you could figure out what the cutoff is. It may be like 0.3. There may be a number where you need it to at least be under if you want to, for it to make the bet worth it. But anyway, I really think it's about a 1%. So I think a person could safely do this and try to make $800. It'd be an easy money. They should have done it a few days ago when you could have made $1,500 or whatever. But anyway, so like I say, not recommending it, but it's fun to look at this kind of stuff. I don't know. I'm excited about the election, and I'm just excited about covering the volatility around the election and about the VIX is going to pop. I'm thinking, and there'll be all kinds of good content for me to talk about with you guys, and we'll talk about option. And I'll try to tie it in with option trades. I have a really good option trade on DJT, that company, and it's not really so much directional. It's like it's a volatility based trade, but I have a good trade. I've shown it a million times. Anyway, it's out there if you guys want to see it. So what are you guys doing today? What's up, retired cop? What's going on up there in Wisconsin? Oh, Wisconsin's beautiful, and I bet it is freaking gorgeous. And about late October in Wisconsin, it's deer season coming up. They get the trees. Oh my gosh. It's so beautiful up there, I bet. I just overseeded the grass down here in Austin. My neighbor, we put some fescue and some winter grass in her backyard because you're supposed to do it around the time of the first frost. We haven't had our first frost yet, but it should be soon. So in any event, I appreciate you guys being here. You guys don't have any questions, I can let you guys go. I was just all the leaves to change, all All the leaves are brown and the sky is gray. That's a good song. Yeah, dude, I can imagine. I used to live in Oklahoma, like I mentioned a million times, and Oklahoma is far enough north where it does have 4 distinct seasons, and the leaves would turn yellow and orange and red. And you down here in Texas, it just is it goes from green to kind of brown because it just never really gets. So some winters it gets cold enough, quick enough to to freeze it and get you the golden and reds. But I sure miss that. I sure miss those cold, crisp Oklahoma fall mornings. I really do. But I don't miss all the tornadoes and the floods and I'd say probably 4 or 5 times a summer I'd be sleeping, or spring, sit up straight in bed in the middle of the night because thunder hits somewhere close around my house, scares you to death. I've been in Austin 7 years, and I don't recall that happening once in Austin. It may have, but we just don't have thunderstorms down here. Not like they do in the Great Plains. In the Great Plains, it's just, I mean, it's something else. But down here, we get plenty of rain and stuff. It's just kind of a gentle rain, We get moisture coming up from the Gulf, hurricanes and stuff. But yeah, retired cop, I bet it's beautiful. I wonder, are you going to go? Are you a hunter? I've heard Wisconsin has some of the best bucks in the world. Minnesota, Wisconsin, record bucks, I've heard. I know people in Texas like to brag about the big bucks in South Texas. But one day I went on a deep dive and I researched the biggest bucks. And there's big bucks lots of places, but there's a lot of them in Wisconsin and Minnesota. And I'm not even a hunter. I mean, anyway. Well, guys, I guess I'll just let you guys go, but I appreciate you guys for being here. Yeah, I bet it's great hunting. So November 1st, is that when the season starts? I think that's when it is down here. I used to be in construction, and you couldn't get anyone to work if you were. We were on a project down in East Texas, Athens, Texas, and people don't show up to work, or it's hard to get them to show up to work the first day of deer season in East Texas. So, but all right, guys. Well, CJ, if you're still here, I appreciate you. Retired cop, I definitely appreciate you, and anyone else that's here. And by next week, the spreadsheet and everything should be going back 100%. So anyway, I appreciate you guys for sticking with me this week. And like I say, we'll talk to you next week. Thanks for being here, CJ and retired cop. I appreciate you too.